Hey everybody, what's going on? We got Smackdown, Friday Night Smackdown, the post SummerSlam show. We're at Princeton University Stadium. And before Smackdown officially starts, we have a recap video of SummerSlam's various Smackdown matches, such as the tag title matches and World Heavyweight Championship match. You know, the one where Vince McMahon was put into a coma. And there's 3 huge announcements set for tonight. First being that the WWE Tag Team titles will be on the line in a SummerSlam rematch following the controversial ending due to Tyler Breeze cheating, as well as the John Cena situation will be settled as the board moves on to probably, like, the announcers don't specifically say it, but if you're watching this at home, you probably figure, okay, they're going to vacate the belt from him. And then Mark Henry takes on Sin Cara in a, quote, mystery main event. So we're not sure exactly what that means. You know, maybe it has something to do with bragging rights. You know, maybe it has something to do with all that. But yeah, we just open into the start of the show. And we open up with a pretty good match in which Drew McIntyre takes on Rey Mysterio Jr. And Drew McIntyre is able to get the pinfall in 18 minutes with a snap double underhook DDT. So it looks like Drew McIntyre proving his kind of superiority in the main scheme of things. And, you know, like I said, with bragging rights, you know, maybe you noticed the storyline that I put there, which I wish I could hide, but whatever. You know, all things considered, you know, big wins like this, you know, maybe we'll see you kind of positioned to be on you know, maybe you're on Team SmackDown. Maybe you'll be in a singles match between SmackDown competitors. We're not too quite sure of the field just yet. We'll have to keep up the build for that. And in a pretty quick squash match, Dolph Ziggler, a very extremely agitated Dolph Ziggler, takes his frustrations out on everyone's favorite punching bag, Jinder Mahal, and he makes him submit with his sleeper hold in about 4 minutes. We cut to commercial, and when we cut back, we see Dolph Ziggler walking around the halls, and he's pretty pissed off when he's met by Ted DiBiase Jr. And Ted goes, "You know, Dolph, I know how you feel." And Dolph's like, "You don't know anything about how I feel. You know, I feel like an absolute fucking idiot. I lost the World Heavyweight Championship after barely a month, and I couldn't get it back multiple times, and I lost a big match at SummerSlam." And Ted goes, "Dolph, I held the Intercontinental Championship for less than a month. I failed to regain it back. And I lost a big match on SummerSlam." Dolph's like, "Well, that was the kickoff show." And Ted's like, "Oh, yeah, well, you're right." But the point is that we have a good amount of stuff in common. We have a good amount of kind of our stories are currently connecting. And there's one thing that this business has taught me, one thing my dad taught me, is that you use that to your advantage. We're on the down slopes. But you know what? If we're going to go up, why don't we go up together? He goes, "Why don't you come with me? I want to talk to General Manager Shawn Michaels. I have a proposition for him." And Dolph goes, "Okay, that seems about fair." And so they leave off to talk to General Manager Shawn Michaels about something, which we will not know for right now. And in a decent match, we have Sheamus defeating Goldust, but during that match, before he can hit the Celtic Cross, the great and powerful Oz comes out and distracts Sheamus, scaring Sheamus, but he still manages to put away Goldust just because, you know, Goldust is, you know, he's on the wrong side of age at this point, so it wasn't never really in doubt. But he still put up a good effort. Oh, here we go. And after the match, Sheamus is huffing. He's scanning the room for sight of Oz. He makes sure he's not there. He takes a microphone shakily and he stammers out that he's not afraid of Oz. Oz is just a character, an alter ego that Kevin Nash is trying to use to get under Sheamus' skin. He beat Kevin Nash. And in Kevin Nash's head, he had to go to a long-forgotten place just to step back into WWE, just to have the chance to get back there. Not even have a match yet. So if Kevin wants to fight again, Sheamus is definitely ready. But there is literally no one in the WWE right now that can scare the Celtic Warrior. And all of a sudden, that familiar, you know, that Samoa Joe's music right now in WWE is awesome. Like, I fucking love his music. It's the shit. And so Samoan chants hit, and, you know, how come Samoa Joe and it's like, "I just heard a bitch start talking." And Sheamus just, he's rushing out of the ring because it's like, you know, he's probably, you know, like, in terms of, like, you know, like, when you look at Samoa Joe and you look at Sheamus, obviously there's a vast kind of, muscular difference. But in terms of the reputation Samoa Joe has, Sheamus is like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with Samoa Joe right now. I really don't feel like it. So Samoa Joe makes his debut, standing tall in the ring as Sheamus runs off to the back, now having to deal with two different beasts, if you will, in terms of the Samoan submission machine, and now the Great and Powerful Oz. One of those things is not like the other. And we have some women's competition as Madison Lane takes on Katie Lee. And about to have good wrestling distraction crowd, Katie Lee manages to be beaten by Madison Lane with a shining Yakuza kick. During the match, AJ Lee ran in and tried to attack Madison. So putting on a pretty good match, therefore. Building up the women's stuff. And then we cut backstage as Colt Cabana comes out. And he tells Tyler Breeze, they got the tag title match. He goes, we got a big match tonight. Semi-main event. It's us taking on Motor City Machines again. This is the third time. Well, technically the second time, but, the third time overall. And Colt Cabana tells Tyler Breeze that we really need to get, ourselves together. We really need, I love having fun, and I know you love doing what you do. But when we formed this partnership, it was to get us where we're at right now. And we can't risk losing that by doing things like cheating just for the sake of it. We really need to put ourselves on our game tonight. Kind of like the weird side of Colt Cabana coming out. Because, one thing I mark out about Colt Cabana is, as funny as he is that he really can be a good serious wrestler. And I know people criticize him for not doing that, oh, he should just be a serious wrestler since he's so good at it. Or, at least according to some people. Some people might not think so. But I do like kind of that shift in tone. It gives the story, if Colt Cabana was really ever in a promotion that had good, so it was kind of like the NWA stuff with Adam Pearce. It was really good, where Colt's like, okay, enough fucking around, it's time to get serious. And that's what he's telling Tyler Breeze. And Tyler Breeze, it looks like he doesn't really appreciate that, but really, what can you do at this point? So that match is up next, and in a 90A, and out the good heat distraction crowd, the Motor City Machines defeat the Second City Selfies after they hit the Made in Detroit, because Tyler Breeze tags him, or Colt Cabana tags himself in, and Tyler Breeze immediately just gifts him with a fucking, that one, I can't remember what his finishing move is now that I'm on the spot. A beauty shot. How did I forget the beauty shot? He hits the beauty shot on the back of Colt Cabana's head. He walks up the ramp, to create a booze, and the Motor City Machines, Shelly and Sam are like, okay. So they pick him up, Made in Detroit. We have Motor City Machines are the WWE World Tag Team Champions once again. Why, Tyler Breeze? Why? Why did you have to kill the Second City Selfies? Why, Tyler? I assume that's what the audience would be saying. Okay, here we go. So, we have a camera. We see kind of like a POV shot. It's not a pornography, or I guess it kind of is. It's my personal. It's like smart pornography at this point, if you consider it. Or I guess all TEW is that. Anyway, whatever. So there's a door, and it says WWE Board of Directors. So the guy, he tries to open the door to go in to talk to the board of directors, see what they want to say. The door doesn't budge. It's locked. He tries again, maybe something's wrong, but he just can't get this door open. He knocks on the door and nothing happens, and then all of a sudden you hear the door is it was locked. It's unlocked, and who comes out of the room? It's John Cena. So cameraman obviously is about to shit his pants just because John Cena just walked out of the board of directors' office. He looks into the camera and gives it a glare before leaving the room with two items in his hand, the kind of items that you would tend to see on John Cena at this point in his gimmick. The World Heavyweight Championship in one hand and a lead pipe in the other. And all of a sudden the camera just falls to the ground as the guy runs into the room, and you can only see a little bit of the room, and basically there's just carnage in it. There's just bodies everywhere. No one's dead. We haven't confirmed anyone dead yet. We haven't gotten that far yet. We haven't Titan Towers saga'd this yet, but basically what appears to have happened is that John Cena has gone into the board of directors room and beaten all of them with a lead pipe until they weren't conscious anymore, and then walked out. So I can't remember who's on Smackdown commentary, but I assume it's Michael Cole's oh my god, someone called the fucking police. And this ends Smackdown. Smackdown ends a little bit early. Like, that main event, we're not even going to talk about, like, fuck Mark Henry and Sin Cara. Like, the fucking board of directors were just basically almost murdered and beaten. Like, we have no time to talk about this. And with that, SmackDown comes to an abrupt end. But we do have a dark show, a post-show match, in which Samoa Joe, to send the fans happy, in 2 minutes beats the shit out of Darren Young, and he hits him with the Muscle Buster, Tyson Kidd's favorite move. And yeah, that's how we're going to end the show here. In a 92A. I mean, what can you really say about what just happened? Like, I booked that, and I was like, booking that, and I was like, booking that is so fucking fun. Like, it's like, I don't know if people, like, you know, what people's views on it is, if it's too silly or not, but honestly, I don't fucking care. The idea of John Cena basically murdering, but not actually murdering, the board of directors, and just cutting off SmackDown, screwing Mark Henry and Sin Cara out of their main event match is funny. And that's going to be playing into something. It's definitely not, I didn't just promise a main event for the sake of it. You know, we're building a story here, brother. But anyway, another fun episode I've had of recording TEW. Can't wait to see your guys' thoughts on it, and I'll see you guys for the next episode of Monday Night Raw.